England have just beaten Italy 3-1 at Wembley to qualify for the Euros in Germany in 2024. And I've got to say, it was a mixed performance, lots of positives, lots of negatives. But I'm over the moon to say that we've qualified. And in this video, I'm just going to break down some of the key moments from that game. Starting off, I thought England made some good chances initially, but unfortunately, Italy sort of exploit our weaknesses down the flanks, eventually work the ball down the right-hand side, and John Stones is caught in no man land. He's not marking Scamacca, and out of nowhere, we go 1-0 down. It was Italy's first shot of the game, and I thought defensively we were exposed in that moment. And I think that we've seen that Trippier isn't the guy to play left back. Obviously, a right back by trade. Southgate is doing a Southgate and putting players out of position, like all good England managers. And obviously, there are reasons why he's having to do that. There is a bit of an injury crisis at that position, with Luke Shaw being out and Ben Chilwell being out as well. And clearly he doesn't trust any other English players to call up to fill those positions. So for the meantime, we're just going to have to play with Trippier there and accept that he's just going to have to be a bit of a liability. Not even that the entire goal is his fault. Declan Rice makes a poor attempt at an interception on the way, which possibly speaks more about the volume of games that he's been having to play recently with Arsenal, playing in the Champions League and in the Premier League, and now playing all these England games as well. But like I said, I think if you're going to put the blame on anyone for this goal, you might have to go for John Stones. And I rate him so highly, but he was caught out of position this time. Scamacca got free and had an absolute tap-in. The next key moment has to be the England penalty, and I want to have a quick rant on VAR. I feel like this is sort of one of my therapy sessions. It helps me, vent a lot of my annoyances at referees, which is my own VAR. Vent annoyances at referees, right? But look, it was clearly a penalty. The Italy player was absolutely nowhere near the ball. Clearly was going for Jude, right? So there was no need to check it. And VAR is just slowing down the games for absolutely no reason. There's an obsession by these dimwits in charge to check every single decision, and it's killing the sport, right? And also, the double jeopardy rule is so stupid, right? The idea is that if you do a challenge, which should be a penalty and also should be a red card, they just give the penalty because the idea is the penalty is punishment enough, okay? Put that Italy right back. He should have been sent off, right? It's a last man challenge. If that foul happens outside the box, it's definitely a red card. No attempt to get the ball whatsoever. Stop the definite goal. I don't know how it isn't a red card. It just should be. But that rant is now over. I've calmed down. I had a sip of water, and now it's time to talk about the wonderful Jude Bellingham. And this is a bit of a tricky subject for me to talk about because I'm someone who is around the same age as Jude Bellingham, and just watching him play football at this level and at the quality he plays, it's making me rethink some major life choices I've made along the way. That I'm here talking about him, and he's out there putting in some of the best performances, probably one of the best midfielders in the world right now. And it just makes me wonder, where did it all go wrong? But on a more serious note, I think something which isn't being spoke about, hasn't been picked up a lot, is there was a pass that Jude Bellingham made to Phil Foden in the first half. It was sensual. It was beautiful. Wow. And then just his performance as a whole was sensational. For a guy his age to be performing at the level he's performing like an experienced 29, 30-year-old player who's in their prime. He's only 20 years old. It's absolutely crazy what he's doing. Obviously, he won the penalty. I thought his playmaking was fantastic. His ability to drive with the ball was fantastic. His tackle in our defensive third, which led to him winning back the ball and going on a run and setting up Rashford to score his goal. I mean, just wow. What a player we have on our hands there. But just to sort of summarise the first half, I thought Italy had the much better chances. England were really poor. We dominated the game for huge periods. Then Italy would just go, they'd switch it on, have a counter-attack, and they looked the better of the two sides, I'd say. And if they were more clinical, I think they could have scored 3. And the way that they played, I thought they mitigated our quality. We didn't create many great chances from open play in that first half. But second half, I thought, you know, we went through the gears a little bit. We showed our quality, and then scored 2 good goals. Obviously, the first one, like I said, coming from that Jude Bellingham tackle, and then him going on a run, him setting up Rashford to score what was a brilliant goal ultimately. And then the third goal, also fantastic. This comes from a Gay, sort of a long ball over the top, falls quite nicely to Harry Kane, takes it around the defender, gets in front of the other defender, and then is able to slot it past Donnarumma. Great finish. With the quality of player we have at our disposal, I think we could go anywhere, honestly. You look at Harry Kane, he's what, best striker in the world, maybe top 2, top 3, debatably. Jude Bellingham, one of the best attacking midfielders in the world. Marcus Rashford, one of the best wingers in the world. Phil Foden, who I didn't think had a great game today, one of the most talented players in the world. I don't think he's shown that for England just yet. But still, you know, we have players like Saka who still have to come back from injury. The only weakness in our squad today, I thought, was sort of in that defensive midfield. I think Calvin Phillips was very lucky not to get sent off. And I think, you know, the stat going around is that he's only played 70 minutes of football in the Premier League this season out of a total 700 minutes he could have played. It makes you think Southgate's going to have to sort out this defensive midfield issue. We can't keep playing him. He's looking rusty. He's looking rusty every time he's playing for us because it's the only time he's actually playing football. I think there's a number of different ways that people are saying that can be fixed. I think the main one people are going for is probably something like, you know, James Ward-Prowse playing next to Rice in that double pivot in midfield. But I just don't think that's going to work. I don't think Ward-Prowse is like a unbelievable player. Sure, he's definitely got more match fitness, more sharp than Phillips is, and I'd rather have him in over Phillips right now. But in terms of like a long-term solution, even at the Euros, I wouldn't really want him playing. I think what we should be doing is play John Stones in that double pivot with Rice, give Rice a tiny bit more freedom to go forward, and then make sure John Stones plays a little bit more defensively, and then just change the centre-back partnership and put Gay in there as the left-sided centre-back. Then right-sided centre-back, I think you go for Tomori or you go for Lewis Dunk, and I think that means that we're going to be a bit more defensively solid, and also we can sort of solve that defensive midfield issue that we have right now. With the quality of player we have at our disposal, you know, regardless of the fact there's a minor weakness at left back and at defensive midfield, right? We have to be dominating games. We have to be playing high up the pitch. We have to be pressing hard. We've got to be making tons of chances for the players that we have. You know, we have the players to do that. The players that we have in the national team right now, they're doing that for Arsenal. They're doing it for Man City. They're doing it for Man United. They're doing it, you know, name one of the best teams in the country or one of the best teams in the world, and that's who they're doing it for. I just think we lack the quality manager to be able to implement that sort of system, which means that in games like this, we're having to get through on individual moments of quality. And look, we can't keep using that to get through these games, because eventually something's going to happen like what happened when we faced Italy, 3 years ago in Euro 2021, where eventually that quality runs out, and in those big games, sometimes it won't show up, and that's where you need a system to be there to help these players out. And right now we haven't got it. And it's all well and good that Jude Bellingham puts in an unbelievable performance and Harry Kane puts in a great performance. But what happens in the one game where Bellingham isn't unbelievable or Kane isn't unbelievable? Then we need the system to be able to help support the players and actually win these games properly. And now just to speak about the Euros a little bit. Obviously we're now qualified with I think 2 or 3 games of qualification still to go. Ideally we win them, we get a high seed in an easy group. In my honest opinion, I think we have the best side in world football right now. Certainly the best side in European international football right now. So we have no excuse not to win the Euros. I just don't think that we will, unfortunately, because I don't view Southgate as the man. And that's all I've got to say on this topic. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this content from me, hit that subscribe button and give it a big thumb up, and show me that you like what I'm doing. Or even if you didn't enjoy it, give it a like, give it a subscribe anyway, and you have my official promise that I will make it a better video for next time. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Nice.